Right, I genuinely did not see this one coming. Because while we have all been so focused on John Fury calling out Carl Froch, threatening Joe Egan, flipping tables, getting fined $100,000, all of that extraordinary chaos, something else has been happening underneath the surface that nobody was really talking about. Tyson Fury and his dad have fallen out, properly fallen out, and Tyson has now spoken about it publicly for the first time. And what he said is raw, honest, and honestly quite sad when you understand the full picture. Stay with me because this story goes way deeper than boxing. To understand how significant this fallout is, you need to appreciate what this relationship has always represented. Because John and Tyson Fury are not just a father and son who happen to both be involved in boxing. This relationship is the foundation that everything Tyson has ever achieved was built on. John Fury named his son after Mike Tyson with one specific intention. This boy is going to be a fighter, the greatest fighter. And from that moment, everything John did was pointed at that single outcome. The sacrifices, the obsession, the relentless pushing, the chaos. All of it was in service of making Tyson Fury the heavyweight champion of the world. And it worked. Whatever you think of John Fury as a public figure, whatever you think of the headbutting and the table flipping and the threatening and the press conference chaos, the results speak completely for themselves. Tyson Fury is one of the most decorated and celebrated heavyweight champions in the history of the sport, and a massive part of that is John Fury. So when this relationship fractures, it is not just a family disagreement. It is a crack in the very foundation of one of boxing's greatest stories. And that is why what Tyson has said publicly this week matters so much. Right, so let's talk about how this actually unfolded because the details are important. It starts with John Fury's public criticism of Tyson's training setup, specifically his issues with Sugar Hill Stewart, Tyson's head trainer. John Fury has been vocal about this for a while, but recently he took it further. He said Sugar Hill is tactically and technically useless. He gave an ultimatum. If Sugar Hill is in the camp, then John Fury is out. That is not a subtle hint or a quiet word in the ear. That is a public declaration that he has serious problems with the people Tyson has chosen to surround himself with.
It's fair to say that this outcome was always going to be inevitable. It was always going to happen.
I feel if you can't show your father respect when it's needed, keep going. I don't need you. I don't need him and his millions. I need nothing off him. I wish him well, but he's put those people before me, his blood father. That's hurt me like you wouldn't believe. So, they can jog on. Yeah. And I mean that.
Yeah, I can see that. I can see that.
It is what it is.
Comes from here.
Yeah.
I can see that.
Yeah. But they don't get it, you see, because these people roll up, pat you on the back, what money here. The one freak is flowed in 2.5 weeks before the fight just to get a paycheck. The other freaks come with him. Dude, does he not see this?
People, so far, I don't think he actually explains why he feels as though Tyson Fury sold him out.
And then the criticism got more personal. John Fury said Tyson has been gone since the Deontay Wilder fights, that the trilogy took something from him that he has never got back, that he is past his best. Coming from any pundit or analyst, that is an interesting opinion. Coming from your own father, the man who dedicated his entire life to building you, that is something different. That lands differently. And clearly it has landed hard with Tyson. John went further still, said Tyson has put other people before his blood father, that it has hit him like he would not believe. Said he does not need Tyson or his millions. These are not the words of someone playing a character for the cameras. This is a 60-year-old man who feels genuinely sidelined and genuinely hurt by the son he gave everything to. And that emotional honesty, as raw and chaotic as it is actually the most human John Fury has seemed throughout this entire saga.
Old Tyson would have knocked Usyk out in 5 rounds before he met Wilder, because he'd have the engine stand in the middle of the ring and keep going. There's no two-phased attacks. There's nothing. There's no handles. There's this, that, and the other. When there is an handle, it's laboured. The legs ain't there.
Yeah.
He's 38. He's got 200,000 miles on his clock. And I wanted to see what I had with a lot easier man than him. I've not come from watching some Mickey Mouse fights and have a mindset to want to mess with a world champion. They should have paid more attention to detail Okay, Tyson, I said to him, you're out 18 months, forget it, you're not what you was, leave it. Begged and prayed of him, leave it. Your power's up to scratch. I watched the Usyk fight last time. Power weren't there. The moves was there, but after 6 or 7 rounds, he was fading quick. You know, and down the straight, that's where Usyk got him every time. In the last 2 rounds, it's that close.
And then the Froch situation explodes on top of all of that. John Fury goes nuclear at the press conference, flips a table, gets fined $100,000, and Tyson, who is trying to focus on the biggest comeback of his career against a legitimate knockout artist, is sitting there watching his dad create extraordinary chaos at his own event, without him in the corner, without his blessing, as a man he is currently at odds with. So here is where Tyson speaks, and the tone is very different from anything we have heard from him publicly throughout this whole situation. He is asked about his dad, and instead of the usual deflection, the usual joke or the subject change, Tyson opens up. He talks about everything he has been through, the highs and the lows, the Usyk losses, the retirement, the comeback, and he frames all of it as God's plan, as something he has had to accept and find peace with. But then he says something that cuts right to the heart of the fallout. He says he does not have people around him and never will, that he keeps himself to himself, the same people he has always trusted. Not interested in new people, not interested in what anyone else has or thinks. And the implication is clear even if he does not say his dad's name directly. He has tightened his circle, and John Fury is not inside it right now. And then there is the really significant part, because Shane McGuigan, who knows the Fury family dynamics very well, offered an insight that I think explains a lot of this. He said, Tyson historically used his dad as an infiltrator, someone to cause chaos and unrest around opponents and in the build-up to fights. The John Fury that storms press conferences and headbutts people and makes threats, that version of John Fury was actually useful to Tyson at certain points in his career. It was strategic chaos, controlled in a sense. But Shane says, for this fight, for the Makhmudov comeback, Tyson does not need that dynamic. He needs focus and calm and a clean training environment. And John Fury, in his current state, is the opposite of all 3 of those things. So Tyson has made a decision, and it is a decision that has cost him his relationship with his dad in the short term at least. Is it repairable? Tyson was asked that directly. His answer was honest and slightly heartbreaking. He said he does not know. Now here is where this story connects back to everything we have been covering around John Fury and Carl Froch, because this fallout adds an enormous amount of context to everything that has happened over the last few weeks. Think about it from John Fury's position for a second. He has been excluded from his son's training camp. He is in a public falling out with Tyson. He feels sidelined and disrespected after dedicating his life to building this family's boxing legacy. And then he shows up at Tyson's press conference, sees Carl Froch up on a platform for Netflix making money from Tyson's event, and something in him completely snaps. The Froch situation is not just about YouTube comments and social media beef. It is a man who is in genuine emotional pain, who feels like he has lost his place in his son's world, and who is desperately looking for somewhere to direct all of that energy. And Froch, whether he planned it or not, became that target. And now John Fury is talking about fighting Froch and Joe Egan and training in the woods and chopping trees. And all of this is happening while his relationship with Tyson is broken. Without Tyson properly in his corner, without the Fury family united front that has always been the backbone of everything they do, which raises a question that nobody is really asking. If Tyson and John are genuinely at odds, does Tyson even want this fight on his undercard? Does he want his fractured relationship with his dad played out in front of 60,000 people at Tottenham on the night of his big comeback? Because based on what Tyson has said publicly, the honest answer is probably not. So here is where we are. Tyson Fury has spoken. The fallout with his dad is real. The relationship that built one of boxing's greatest careers is under serious strain. And all of this is happening in the background of the most chaotic and compelling subplot British boxing has seen in years. John Fury is out there fighting for relevance, for respect, for a place in a story he feels he is being written out of. And Carl Froch is right in the middle of it whether he asked to be or not. Is this repairable? Is the fight happening? And does Tyson even want it to? Drop your thoughts in the comments. This story is nowhere near finished. Until next time.